Alright, let's get the show on the road. Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. My name is Lilman, or you could just call me Lilman for short. And today, we are going to be playing in creative mode. It's only going to be temporarily. We're just going to be setting up a little bit of content so that we could post more on my TikTok. But we also are going to be streaming for 30 minutes. We're going to be streaming, ending the stream, streaming, ending the stream, and then streaming again. Just pretty much so that we could post like several videos at a time versus constantly posting like one a day. We could probably at least post maybe 3 or 4 a day. So yeah, most definitely I do want to increase my chance with posting much more content so that not only am I getting out there, but what's it called, everything I've seen. Now, starting off, I was streaming not yesterday, I think the day before yesterday, and I was showing off a path that I was making, and yeah, honestly, I like it. You know, obviously, depending on how it looks in my real world, I will be changing everything up and making it to where certain things are wider, certain things are slimmer. However, I will say 9 times out of 10, everything will be getting wider because in my personal world, obviously all the roads that I have made are significantly bigger than the ones that we already made right here. I do not know how he got up there, but let's knock him out. Alright. And real quick before we even start, let's pull up our Twitch real quick. And we're gonna briefly just go back over our intro before we get into everything. So, as always, hello, welcome to the stream. My name is Lilman, and this is my creative world. Currently, we're just building stuff just to pass the time, so hopefully you're okay with that. With that being said, feel free to stay and watch, or if you don't, by all means, it's okay. As always, I accept all kinds of support, whether you want to like, sub, follow, or just watch. It ain't really much, but it's still something to me. Similar to a homeless person, a penny may not be much, but it may mean a lot to them. But yeah. So getting started, we made a few stands. So this one currently is a fruit stand. Now, hold on, let me make it a morning time real quick. Oh wait, no. So I want to go over the few that are already made, and I want everybody's opinions on what they think X, Y, and Z is. So automatically, this right here, I mean, you could think about it. I mean, I feel like it's pretty obvious because of its orange color, but please give your opinions. 3, 2, 1. If you said it was an orange, you are correct. These are oranges. Now, obviously, this green block right here, I mean, pretty obvious, but by all means, feel free to guess. 3, 2, 1. It's a watermelon. Okay. So we have a copper block here. However, because we're trying to make it implicate, because we're trying to make it seem like this is a fruit stand, it is technically a fruit. So, what do you think this is? 3, 2, 1. If you said it was a peach, you are correct. And honestly, I don't even know what this is. I just put it there just because I needed more more block ideas for fruits. Some of me was thinking maybe make it like strawberries or apple. However, since it doesn't have a design as if there was an apple inside of it, I'm not completely sure. I mean, it could be apples or cherries. It could be one of the two. But so far, I will leave that open for anyone who does suggest a fruit name. And obviously this right here is the pumpkin. So since he is a fruit vendor, he is selling all types of fruits. Well, not all types. He's just selling what can be got. Um, I was actually thinking of putting some of the actual fruits on his thing, but I figured since I am making him a farmer, there's no point because he isn't gonna have access to all the stuff that I want to put on his thing. For example, if I could find the fruit, hold on. No, it's not a chorus fruit. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. We're currently just building stands. These are going to be for my solo survival world. I forgot. Oh wait, I think it was glowberries. Glowberries. Yeah, glowberries. Okay, so yeah, we're just gonna change that out then. But yeah. So if I could do that, bow and bow. And then we could just change that carrot out for pumpkin pies. It makes a lot of sense in my opinion. Because why does he have a carrot? So yeah, boom. He is a fruit vendor and he sells all forms of fruits. Now coming over here, we have the bread vendor. Obviously, he sells bread. Bread is delicious. You know. Anyways, so he has the hay in the background, obviously, because it makes sense. How else would he be making bread? He has some bread over there, bread right here, and obviously I wanted to add more bread. However, I felt as though it possibly would have been smarter to just add the recipe for bread. So that's that. Then, if we come over to here, we have a potion stand. And he sells all kinds of potions that obviously could help you. Now, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not even sure if clerics sell potions. Let me just check real quick. Yep, they do not sell any potions. However, obviously that's why you make a stand for it. You know, you want to make it stand out. So yeah, so far we only have 3 stands made, and we do plan to make more. I somewhat do like the stand roofs that I made. I plan to make more. Here, just help you out. Anyways, and then we have a dragon breath. Now, with a good amount of these, I am aiming to put like something special. So like obviously the fruit the fruit store has a golden apple. Over here I'm honestly not specifically sure what I should put. Honestly, it's kind of hard to think of what you would put for something special regarding bread. I mean, let me see. Quick pause. I don't even think you could eat these. Yeah, you can. But yeah, it would actually be cool if you could eat them though. It makes sense, but oh well. Because if you eat golden apples, I mean, I think it'd kind of be smart, but who cares? So I'm thinking possibly a stew. Because, I mean, I don't think there's any other forms of bread in this game besides just regular bread. Yep. So we're 9 times out of 10 just gonna add stews, and we're probably gonna add not beetroot, mushroom stew. Nope. Okay. Yeah. Honestly, it's really just all the small details. Um, So yeah, I feel like that's small. This one is small, and there's this one small. I'm not really aiming to make it big because obviously they are supposed to be small little stands that you could just pass by whenever you're wandering around. But so far these three are pretty good, honestly. So now we're gonna start focusing on building some more. I think I want to build more complex ones. We're gonna aim to at least try to build two more before we end stream, and then start up another stream for the same game, obviously. But yeah. But real quick, hold on. Let me think. Villager jobs. I know I'm not gonna need all of these villagers. However, it would be smart, in my opinion, to have like. Oh wait, we could do like a clothing villager. Okay. Open image, a new tab. Okay. Yep, leather worker. Okay. We could do a 5 wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But yeah, we'll say, hope everyone's having a good day. Got some bad news and some good news. However, I feel as though, regardless of the bad news about my situation, I do feel as though it is, in a way, good for the simple fact I can at least move on with life and try some new things out. Obviously, I still have the option of trade school and everything else that is currently coming my way, so by all means, I do have all the free time and availability to do all that now. Um, but, yeah. So, by all means, yes, it could be, in a way, bad news, but at the end of the day, at least I made it this far, so I am pretty happy. Um, and yeah. Okay. And then we could just start adding armors to it. Yeah, quick little clothing. Yeah, it ain't gotta be perfect. I mean, we could actually make it a full set. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Beautiful. And then we could just start adding small details. We're gonna use gray wool and yeah, light gray, sure. Yeah, why not? We're probably gonna have to copy that same one over there, but probably not. After all, I mean, it's just something small, nothing major. And then just yeah, I guess that could work. But if that's the case, we're just gonna have to widen it just by a little bit. And my girlfriend is cooking. Yay. Usually I cook between me and her. However, I am actually happy that she's cooking because I want her to at least try new things. I like whenever she's confident in her cooking, or just confident just in general. Um, I by all means, yes, I do love uh, what's called love what she makes. And I'm not gonna say I'm a picky eater because I'm not really. I actually love eating quite a lot of food. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Anyways, my bad. I was texting something stupid. Anyways, hello. How you doing? How's the cookie? Honestly, I think I'm being more. Well, I think I'm fixing my. I won't say fixing a diet, but I think I'm changing my diet a little bit more. Um, because before I obviously I'm not a huge fan of eating seafood, except because my girlfriend's been cooking it and I've been trying it. Honestly, it's not as bad as what I thought it would be. Because back then, when I was younger, obviously, I was never a huge fan. But I actually am glad that she's getting me out of that habit of not wanting to try it. Because honestly, it's pretty good when she cooks it. Oh wait, I could just put a slab. You okay? Yeah, that happens. Honestly, I think I kind of like these mud blocks or mud bricks, but I think that could work. Let me just come in real quick, and then quick little bed. Wake up, and then we just want him to have clothes on display. If I can find it right here. I know how this is gonna look. There we go. Yeah, I think. But then again, I should make it less armory and more just like fashion. Yeah. I could probably do like maybe some iron leggings at best. Boom, there you go. Yeah, that looks better. And then I could just have a wall right here holding all of the um, what's it called, holding, I guess, more valuable pieces. There we go. Because his arm's gonna be tripping me out if it does that the whole time. And then the chainmail would just so if you plan to be a flashy person. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oop, 4. And then we're gonna implement dyes into this, or we can implement dyes into it the whole time. Do I want to? Well, I mean it is a fashion store, so I'll just a pumpkin head and not this one. And I'll remove that. There we go. And what should I put here? I just put, yeah, I honestly I could just put a dye right here. Or I could put cobwebs to add detail, make it seem like, oh, there's nothing right there. Yeah, that definitely looks good. Yep. Oops. Yeah, see, it's just the small little details I like about that. And then we could finish this off with this, and then yeah, What's up? Yep, I got you. Here you go. Yeah, no, I'm strong. No problem. Uh, I remember what I was doing. Ah, already 25 minutes. There we go. So yeah, now we got a clothing stand. It's perfect too. And nothing could get in. Okay, we're gonna make one more. Let's see what other things. Oh wait, we do have armors. Okay. Oh, yeah, I made this a while back. Honestly, I honestly was thinking about that one little old feature, um, where pretty much you could just use it just to trap any mobs. Well, I ain't gonna say any mobs, but any mobs that walk often. Like for example, skeletons, um, skeletons, sheep, any mob that walks. Zombies. Only ones that it doesn't really necessarily work on would be probably just Endermen and spiders, because Endermen could teleport out, obviously. Plus, it wouldn't work on them anyways if you built this 3 high, because if you built it 3 high, these enemies could just jump over. Yeah, but I made it through because I'm smart. Anyways, so we're gonna try to build this last little house. Well, my bad, last little stand. Um, bow, bow. And honestly, it doesn't have to be in like an exact order. Honestly, as long as it's made, it's perfect. Um, I'm gonna use waxed. And I think I want to add detail and just have one that withers. Boom. So this table should be slowly withering over time. And then I want to add a small little wall, or like something fenced. And then bow, bow. Cause can you walk through this? No, you can't. You can walk through that though. So I'll probably make it a solid block here. But then again, enemies could crawl over that. Honestly, screw it. We're just gonna see. Just say screw it. Just go with the flow. Oof. I don't know what I'm doing. I could have Armor is right here. But that's debatable. Unless I just extend this by one more. Then I'll definitely have it right here. Or two more, technically. Yeah, two more. So boom. Because this, this. So I'm gonna try almost every every episode, just build two of these. And we hit the 30-minute mark. However, because we're not done, we're going to finish this up and then we will end the stream. But as always, I do hope you enjoyed. We'll talk a little bit more in the next one. It's just so far, just wanted to focus, get a little bit off my mind. I will say maybe I should hop back into streaming on TikTok. But until then, as always, it is nice to take a little bit of space away from TikTok. I ain't saying that I'm gonna be taking a hiatus and gonna say, oh no, I don't want to be on TikTok anymore. Because by all means, most of my content definitely is being posted there. Hold on, what if I put it on here? That might be better. And then alrighty. And then we're just gonna have to put his armor here and then the bed there. Yeah, perfect match. Oh, never mind. Now this is a perfect match. Oh no, he escaped. Alright, let's try this again. Okay, so we're just gonna remove that. Please don't try to wander. But he can escape right there. So we could do this, and just put his job right here. Wake up, please. And that's a problem. So let's put him right here. Go to your bed, please. And so if we set it to sunrise, oh wait, hold on. Just set it today. And then let's set it tonight. Okay, yeah, that works perfectly. And then we could just put a small little storage container for him and all of his stuff right here behind all of the stuff. 1, 2. stand. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then we could just throw on some netherite for one of them. And then the rest, make it like, I won't say mediocre, but I'd say like decent armor. Copper boots, yeah. And boom. So now we have a solid armor stand. We do want to add a little bit of lighting, and then afterwards, that will be the end of this stream. Well, we want to add some stuff to his thing as well. That was on the white, that was on the white, okay. Then issues. Small issue, small issue, small issue, okay. Technically it doesn't have to be exactly on point, however I like everything on point. And if you do plan to copy my builds and do it similar, by all means, you don't have to do it exactly how I do it. I just like to do everything at least symmetrical. So by all means, feel free to do your builds your way, or my builds your way, because at the end of the day, you're gonna like it how you made it. I mean, I can't really control how you build your stuff. Obviously, I could give you like small little tutorials and be like, oh yeah, so this is how I build. You want to build it just like this, X, Y, and Z. But by all means, you ain't got to build it directly like mine's. So feel free to implement, try something new, try something that you personally like to build. Because, I mean, by all means, I love building, but it definitely takes some time. But as always, thank you so much for watching. We already did a 40-minute stream. Hold on, give me a quick second. Alright, anyways, back to what I was saying. So, as always, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, or subscribe. Feel free to follow any of my other channels, whether it's on TikTok, Twitch, or YouTube if you're watching this on one of the two. And yeah, as always, I love each and every last one of you. I appreciate you for even taking the time to watch my videos, and please take care.